Welcome to the Middleware Tech YouTube channel. In this series, you'll learn about Bootstrap Introduction. All code examples used in the videos will be available on GitHub. Let's get started.
What if you remember, the Bootstrap is a framework pattern. So when you create an web application, a website or user interface, we have used HTML5 component. We have used CSS also to create a good application, good website. And we can see here how this good web page look like. We have created one pattern, right? Okay. Now what I want is that customer need 100%, 200% satisfaction. The user interface that I am interacting with, that should be very good look and feel, okay, and very user friendly. We have to get very good look and feel user interface based on 200% customer satisfaction. Okay, if we think from that perspective, then it is not possible to create that using basic CSS and HTML5 component. Just using CSS and HTML5 component that we talked about still now, you cannot create that much or that level. So what happened is that in industry, lots of UI, lots of component came. Okay, I'm talking about user interface component, user interface. If I'm creating a very good user interface, so there is different technologies is there. Different vendor use different tool to create very good user interface. As for example, different ERPs like that came from Oracle, PeopleSoft, or SAP. Different ERPs will use different UI tool like UI tool using Bluff, okay, Bluff. So Bluff. These are some of the good UI tool. Browser look and feel, minimal look and feel, critical look and feel. We have another tool called Swarm. Okay, so these are the good UI tool to create very good user interface. Implicitly, these tools actually being created using HTML, CSS, XML, okay, metadata. This implicitly they are using this. But industry used very good user interface to interact with. So these are some of the tools being used to create very good user interface with different ERP applications, okay, CRM applications. We have another one component called ADF faces to create very good user interface. We have rich faces component or JSF faces to create very good user interface. Okay. But the thing is that if I'm going to work on this, from Android also you'll find a good user interface component. Okay. Okay. But the main focus is that we need some open source solution. Okay, that will give us very good user interface. So we need a framework or pattern that will give us very good user interface from open source point of view. To create the user interface only, then best solution is that go for Bootstrap. Okay, then best solution is that go for Bootstrap. So what is this Bootstrap? It's one framework. So if I want to say some point about it, Bootstrap. Bootstrap is a framework. It is a framework or pattern Bootstrap. It's a framework or pattern. So as you know the meaning of framework, framework means what? Framework means we always go for a particular framework. Means already it is created by someone and we have to know how to use it. It will give us some reusability. Okay, and it will reduce resource to put in development cost. Rather, they will work on those predefined component to create a very good user interface. So Bootstrap is one of the framework. Okay, and very popular frame. Not only if you say only framework, it is not good. You can say here popular front-end framework. Okay, popular. We should say it like very popular. Okay, front-end framework. Front-end framework. Now, this is a very powerful framework because this Bootstrap is used to create mobile user interface for faster and easier web development. Okay, so you can say it's a powerful mobile first front-end framework. If you want to say that is also fine. Okay, it is powerful mobile first front-end framework. Okay, mobile first front-end framework. Now, this framework actually implicitly it is actually being created using these three components. Okay, it uses these three components: HTML, what you have talked about still now. You'll find CSS, and you'll find JavaScript. So this framework actually being created using these three components only. Okay, actually, this Bootstrap framework came. Sometimes we use Bootstrap name as Twitter Bootstrap. It's a very common name. Okay, it's a name as Twitter Bootstrap. Okay, you'll not get Bootstrap. It's very common name, TWIT, Twitter Bootstrap. So why this name Twitter Bootstrap? The reason is that Bootstrap actually being developed by Mark Otto. Okay, and Jacob Thornton. Okay, they actually created this or developed this Bootstrap at Twitter. They're working on Twitter and they have developed this framework. So from that perspective, we say that it's a Twitter Bootstrap. Okay, so it was released as an open source product. Earlier, it was actually created under Twitter only, and it came as an open source product in the year 2011. Okay, so open source from 2011. Okay, so and from then on, it's dominating in the market and open source environment or open source domain to create an user interface. This Bootstrap being used a lot, not only in mobile but also in other application, desktop application or PD application user interface creation. Bootstrap is used a lot. Now the question is that why I'll go for this Bootstrap implementation? I can get that complete user interface using HTML5 components, CSS, applying CSS. I can even use styling. Why I'll go for Bootstrap? If I want to say some point like why Bootstrap, if I want to say some point. So if I say this why Bootstrap, then first point, if I tell that Bootstrap is used, if I think about mobile user interface, then Bootstrap is the first choice in open source domain. So we can say like it is use mobile first approach. Mobile first approach. Okay. First point we can say like that because Bootstrap 3, Bootstrap is two major version, 2.x and 3.x. Sorry, 3.x and 4.x. Both the version is used. So now when I'm talking about Bootstrap, I'll talk about Bootstrap 3.x only. Tomorrow we'll talk about Bootstrap 4.x and how I can create a good user interface using Bootstrap 4.x. That we'll talk about tomorrow. So it has two versions, 3.x and 4.x major versions, and both is used to create a very good user interface. All the commercial application user interface, most of them in open source domain you'll find with Bootstrap. Okay. So the thing is that because this framework, it consists or it will create the style through the entire library, instead of the separate file. So if I say why Bootstrap, that's the first point. Second point, I'll say that it is it's browser support. Okay, browser support. If you worked on HTML5 component, okay, all the HTML5 component, you may find some of the HTML5 component or some CSS3 component, okay, may not work with specific browsers. Some, I'm not saying all, some of them, I can say think about 2%. Okay, 2% some component may vary to work with different browsers. Not only CSS3 component, but also HTML5 components. There is some browser compatibility issues are there. Though trying to resolve day by day and things are getting improved a lot now. But if you're going to work on Bootstrap, okay, it is supported by all the popular browsers. Whichever the browsers you're going to work on, all the browser support is there fully for this Bootstrap. Okay, so this is another one reason why Bootstrap gets popular in the market. Another one point you can see that, see, if I'm going to work on user interface, if I'm going to work as a developer in user interface domain, it is not that if I just learn HTML5, CSS3, JavaScript, I'll be developer. There is lots of things about it. If I'm going to work as a user interface domain as a developer and increase my skill set, in that case, we have to know some framework on the user interface. We have AngularJS, we have Node.js, we have EXT.js. So there is some different framework is also there in the user interface domain. What I'm saying is that if my purpose is to create good user interface, then I should know all HTML elements, CSS elements, because ultimately Bootstrap is being based on those elements only, implicitly. Now, if I don't know, if you don't have too much knowledge, good knowledge on HTML and CSS, then also I can create a user interface using Bootstrap, because Bootstrap will give us an inbuilt component. Okay, so that if you see here, if I tell you that this user interface I have created, and it took take me half an hour. Fine. And the same user interface, if I want to create using Bootstrap, it will take just 5 minutes. Not even 5 minutes. With less than 5 minutes, you can create the complete user interface, and much more better than this. How it is? Because Bootstrap is providing us some inbuilt component. Okay, we'll talk about all the inbuilt component step by step. So without knowing the complete HTML or CSS features, I can get a very good user interface and with very less time. Okay, so you can say another one point about why Bootstrap. It is easy to get started. Okay, another one point, if I want to say here, so it is supporting another one important features, okay, that we talked about in day one, that is a responsive design. Responsive design. So to implement responsive design, what we have done in CSS, we have used media queries, right? But in case of Bootstrap, don't have to use any media queries. In case of Bootstrap component implicitly support because the device, either it is a desktop or it's a tablet or it's a mobile, based on which device you are going to use, Bootstrap responsive CSS will adjust any one of the device by itself. Okay, so responsive design, if I want to say, it's a to implement that responsive design, we have used CSS media queries. But in Bootstrap, by default, it is embedded to all the Bootstrap component. Okay, so these are the major 4 reasons why I should go to Bootstrap. Okay, why I should go for Bootstrap. These are the 4 major reasons we can talk about. Right now, now we can say like now if I want to say like there's different versions of Bootstrap is also there. Talking about version. Okay, there's different versions is there. We have Bootstrap 2.x, not used tomorrow now. 3.x version is still now used, and 4.x version came recently. So all these 3 being used a lot now. Okay, so now the thing is that if I want to work on, if I want to create a simple, now I want to see that yes, how easy it is to create a very good user interface, responsive web design using Bootstrap. Because you know, when I talk about responsive web design with Bootstrap, you know, Bootstrap is all about responsive layouts. You know, it allows sites and applications to be viewed on just about any device, and not to have you know. So so let's see if I want to create a first application using Bootstrap, what I have to do it. So you have to go into one site that is called Get Bootstrap. I'm talking about Bootstrap setup. Okay, so if I want to create that, then I have to go inside one of the website that is called getbootstrap.com. Okay, so go inside that. As I told you that it's a framework. So that means we should know already components are being created and we should know how to use them. right? Then only we can see, in a fraction of a second, we can get a very good user interface. We can create it, but if you want to manipulate, if you want to resolve some customer requirement, if you want to go for commercial application to create Bootstrap, then you should know the internal structure, right? Very well. So let's go into this website. Control V, get bootstrap.com. It will come like this. Just see this user interface. So this is the official website, Bootstrap, and you can see lots of things there. Initially, you may find it hard to get all the things if you're completely new on this domain. So I'm talking in such a way. You can see here, build responsive mobile first project on web and the world most popular front-end content library. So Bootstrap is one of the open source toolkit for developing HTML, CSS, JSF, right? Okay. Now, if you see top right side, you can see here, it will see different versions. You see latest version is 4.4.x, 3.x. So as we talked about, there is a huge difference between 3.x version and 4.x version. Huge differences there. I'll talk about those differences. So today, I try to focus on 3.x version only today. Our focus will be 3.x version. We'll talk about 4.x tomorrow. So let's move with 3.4. So I've just selected here 3.4. So this complete website will talk about only 3.4 version only. Fine. Okay. What I want to do is that first, my requirement is that I want to create a simple website, okay, using Bootstrap 3, you can say. That is my requirement. I want to create a simple website based on Bootstrap 3 version. So already I told you that Bootstrap 3, it's a framework and it will give us some predefined CSS file. In our last example, if you remember, we have created the CSS files, right? And we have used these properties as selector for our HTML element in the HTML pages, right? So you have defined this ID selector and class selector, right? And these ID selector and class selector that we have used, these are all user defined here. But in Bootstrap 4, Bootstrap 3.x, talking about here, we'll find we have been given predefined CSS files. We'll be given predefined JavaScript file, and we have to use them to create our user interface using Bootstrap. So if I want to work on Bootstrap, I want to see if I want to work on Bootstrap, okay, you can see how the user interface look like. Just go to theme, top right side, and you can see what type of user interface we can create using Bootstrap. See the user interface, what type of user interface you can create using Bootstrap. Okay, and that we can create with fraction of second based on commercial application, commercial requirement. All right, this type of website you can create, and all the format they have given. You see here, this type of websites you can implement or create using Bootstrap, right? And that would also very fraction of second. So let's see, let's understand into that step by step. So first, what we will do is that we will create our first Bootstrap first website using Bootstrap. So to work on Bootstrap, what you have to do is that you have to just download Bootstrap. Check which version you are using. You are using 3.4 version. Download Bootstrap. If you want to use lesser version, that also you can use it. 3.3 also you can use it. Okay, so Bootstrap 4 is here. Fine. You can use 3.3 also, 3.3.7 as you wish. So just download it. If you want to download, just you have to select download Bootstrap. If you see it's a downloaded one file, just open that. On dist file, it gets downloaded. Right click, cut. Fine. So just delete this, whatever you have done it last time. I just paste it here. Now, if you see, this is the dist I have just downloaded, right? Just extract it. Once you have extracted, you'll find, go inside the extracted one. You'll find here, see some CSS, font and JS. 3 folder is there. Go inside the folder and you can see here some predefined, these are all CSS file properties. It is a CSS file. So this is a predefined CSS file being given to you, right? Predefined. Someone already created these CSS files, right? Similarly, if you go inside the font, some predefined files, glyco, glyphicons are, I'll talk about them. I'll come into that. These are predefined font styles I can use. Okay. So on the other side, we have some .js file, and predefined files is already being given to us, and we have to know how to use them. Fine. So in your dist file, you'll find this 3 folder. Okay. Now, if I want to create a simple Hello World application using Bootstrap, okay, so I need this 3 files. Fine. Okay. Now, what I have to do is that go inside CSS, copy that bootstrap.min, this one. This is generally we need. Copy that, copy, and paste it in your code folder. And this CSS folder, code CSS, just paste it. If you remember, these are the 2 CSS files here, user defined. This is not user defined that we have got from the folder Bootstrap, right? Fine. So what we want to do is that I want to show that we have downloaded. Now what I want to do is that I want to create a simple Hello World application. Hello World application using Bootstrap. So for this, what you have to do is that go to Getting Started tab. We'll talk about them one by one. You go to Getting Started tab and select one top right side, basic template. Basic templates, as see here. You can select this, or if you go down, you can see here. This is the download source code. SAS we'll talk about. So okay, Bootstrap is downloadable in 2 form. Okay, fine. If you go down, you can see what are the different files is available in the downloaded zip that they have given. And so basic template, if you see here, what is this basic template? Now, if I want to work using Bootstrap, using HTML, what you have done, if you remember, you have started from the scratch level. Head element also you have written manually, correct? But in case of Bootstrap, no, you don't have to write all the things manually. I want to start from the first. Just take this basic template that they have given and start your application, right? So I have used this basic template. Just copy this. It is already given to you to start or create or work on your web page. So just copy this basic template. I'll talk about what is there. Just copy basic template. Fine. And go to brackets. Close this, whatever you have done. Just create some pages, like you can create like index 12. file new. I'm creating a page, HTML page. So file new, Control V, right? And file save as, name that page as index12.html. So just write here index12.html. Fine. I'll put it in the desktop folder and code. Save it. So you can see here how this page look like. Okay. Now, here, if you see, this is an HTML5 page. How to understand doc type HTML. Here we have used some of the meta element. Correct. What is the purpose of using this meta properties? Purpose is that you have to implement responsiveness design, so it should support in any device. That's why I have used this meta name viewport and meta character UTF-8. Okay. On the other side, I'm using here Bootstrap. If you don't need this, just remove. So if you see here, I'm using this bootstrap.min.css file that is coming from the CSS folder. Just check in the CSS folder, this file is there. In the CSS folder, bootstrap.min.css. Yes, it is there. Fine. Okay. Now they have given lots of things. For the time being, I don't need. I have to get a simple page using Bootstrap, and this template already been given to us. Now the script to interact with JavaScript, it is going to interact with a script that is taking from Google APIs. Okay, or you can do one thing, you can get it from your current folder also, jquery.min.js. Let me check it is there or not. jquery.min.js. It is there in the downloaded copy. jquery.min.js. jQuery. So what is that name? Right. So this is actually downloading from there. For the time being, we don't need this. If you, we don't need it, so that I don't want to talk about it. Anything else? Now this bootstrap.min.js, it is taking from the JS folder. Okay, so let me check if this is there in our downloaded copy or not. Bootstrap.min.js, this is the file, right? And this one is already we have copied in the CSS folder, right? Now I'm talking about bootstrap.min.js folder, not this. So go inside your this is CSS file, bootstrap.min.js. This is the file. This is JavaScript file. Okay, just copy this one, put it in the JS folder of your code directory. So just create a particular folder here, name it JS, and paste it inside this. This is required. Now where I'm going to use it, I'll come. So this current basic setup we have done inside our existing code folder. Just we have taken two files. The JS file folder we have used bootstrap.min.js file. It's a JS file. You can see here, right click properties. It's a JavaScript file. And on the other side, we have used CSS folder. And here I have used bootstrap.min.css and right click properties. You can see this is your .css file. Fine. Okay. Now what I can do is that let's open our page. Okay. And so fine. So I want to create this hello world. So page is already ready itself, right? Now the thing what we have done is that this two file is taking from this two folder that in the current directory in our case. file. So file, save all, and run. See how this page look like. So if you run this page, you can see this page is running and hello world came here. Now this hello world that comes under h1 element, okay, and you can see it's looking slightly different. It is nothing like a normal text. Why it is using slight different? It is not like in a normal text because it is using the style set that is being provided inside this CSS file, okay, for h1, because you are using this CSS file, right? So fine. Now just now I told you that using Bootstrap is a framework. It is using some predefined CSS. Let me check what is there inside this CSS file. Let's open that CSS file. Okay, so go to file, open. Let me open the CSS file that has been given here. This is the CSS file. Let me open this. See here, this now very tough to understand what is given here. For the timing, just take it that predefined things is being defined here. To understand, it will take some time. And copyright from Twitter INC. Okay, and that's it. Fine. Next, let me check what is given inside the JS file. So if you open into this code, JS, bootstrap.min.js, just open this. And you can see here, complete JavaScript code is being given, right? Okay, fine. Now let's come to this website here. Now we have just I told you that in case of Bootstrap, you'll find some predefined component. Okay, now you don't have to create that component manually. It is giving us some predefined component. So the question is, what are the predefined component? Just see here. Just click on CSS. If you click on CSS, you'll find here Bootstrap is providing all the predefined component for your see here media queries, @media, predefined component. It is giving some predefined component to create a grid system. Okay, it is given just going for the timing as overview level, then I'll come in details. It's giving some predefined component to create a grid system. It's giving a predefined component to create a fluid container. I'll talk about what the difference between container and fluid container. It is giving as predefined component, you can see here tables to create this type of table format. Just see its look and feel is good, right? I want to get this type of table, right? So you have to just copy and paste this. What it is using? It is using the class called table. So this table class is predefined. You remember in Bootstrap board is providing this table class, and it is a predefined class. If you use this predefined class, then you'll get the table format like this. And it's very good look and feel. Correct. Now, if I'm going to use border table, see how this border table look like. So just you have to use a class table space table bordered. Then you'll get a good class, predefined class for you, and you can use that one. So you don't have to create that table using TDTR. No, in Bootstrap 3, they're giving some predefined class. Okay, if you use that class, you'll get that table. Let's see like this way. Hover. Now see, if I hover on the table rows, how it look like, right? So they have used the class name for this feature is called table hover. If you just use table hover, you'll get a class like this, right? Similarly, you can go to condensed table. Okay, so just if you move with all the rows, right, condensed table is there, then you can go to see here how it look like. If I want this type of table implementation, right, then you can use one particular class here, and they have given the class name. You can see contextual classes, okay, and that have a separate features for each and every rows. Responsive table is also there. Responsible table means so that will come into your device width. Okay, then we have forms. Forms means, as you know, I have to take some user input from the user. So you can get a login page, right? Login page. So what happened is that in Bootstrap is giving some predefined forms. Okay, and you have to use that class only. Its class name is form group. Under form group, they're putting this. So if you see here, this complete form implementation is being given. If you want that type of form, just copy and paste. So things are given, ready-made things are given. Just use it, copy and use it in your user interface. Okay, this is an examples of inline form. Okay, and I want to use some good look and feel button. Okay, I want to, so button, as you know, in a plain HTML, that input type equal to text, name equal to button, input type equal to button, name equal to submit, value equal to submit. That will give you a button, but I need very good look and feel. Then I have to use a button with Bootstrap class. Yes, we have a very good button here, but using a Bootstrap class. What is the name of the class for this button? You can use here button class is button primary for this button. So if I need a good look and feel component, I have to use a Bootstrap provided class for that component. That is the basic point. So we have now, the question is that what are the different types of implementation is given. So I should know that specific class name, and I can apply that class for that component, then I'll get that features. So the main functionality is that we should know what are the different predefined classes provided. For Funicially, it is not possible to remember all the classes, but I need this user interface to create. What I'll do, just copy this and paste it in your website, and you will get this user interface is ready-made, and use it. Okay, okay. So similarly, you can see here, I need some text area, good look and feel. Okay, I need some radio button or checkbox. Okay, okay. So they have given predefined code for that. Okay, or you can see here, like, so like this way, all the properties is being given. Now, which one you want, based on that, select the code and copy and paste in your code, right? Fine. Now, we have different types of button. If you want to understand all the buttons, just see here how the buttons look like. Different types of button is there. Which button you want to implement? Just implement it, the corresponding code. Large button, default, small, extra small. Just copy that code and paste. You'll get that button because it is using some class. See here, button large, button primary, button default, right? Okay, I want to use a specific image. Okay, so you can use this type of images, right? Or a specific format to represent some background. Okay, so for that we have been given, just use that to implement that background that you want to implement, right? Right, so like this way. Now SAS is another one component. Bootstrap is built on SAS. It has an official SAS port. So we maintain it in a separate GitHub repository and handle update on conversion of a script. So SAS port has a separate repository and serves as a, so the thing is that how to work on SAS. Okay, so SAS is a separate framework on Bootstrap. For the timing, I'm not saying on SAS. For the timing, I'm not saying on SAS. I'll talk about it. So just remember that SAS is another one framework that is working above Bootstrap. Okay, so first, initially, let's spend some time on the plain Bootstrap itself. Then I'll talk about SAS. So we have this predefined component only in Bootstrap. All the predefined component in the left side that you find, all the predefined component we can get using Bootstrap. Just we have to know what is the exact class name. So initially it is not possible to remember all the class name. So whichever the component that you want, just copy and paste that component in your user interface and you will get it. Now only I'll show you how it is. On the other side, you see another one tab is there, component. Just click on component. Now see here, lots of component is there in the right side. Just see here. Lots of component is there and all are predefined. Let's understand some component. If you see glyphicons, what is this glyphicons? Glyphicons means a symbol. When you write something, when you create a web page, you are using different layout for different requirement. Some layout assume related to some music. Some layout is related to some pricing details. Some layout is related to some sports. So in that case, you can use these symbols based on the related content. Okay, assume you are working on some medical related details. You can use some medical symbol. You are creating a website related to music related details. You can use some music symbol. So, or some stock market related details. You can use some symbols related to pricing. So, glyphicons provide you different symbols that you can use these symbols in your web page. And it will get a very good look and feel. And already you have find this type of symbol in different web pages, right? Fine. Next, you can create different drop downs. I want to create different drop downs. So generally, if you remember in HTML, we use choice element, right, to create. But in Bootstrap, they have already given this predefined component. If you see here, already they have given just copy paste, and this drop down is ready for you. I want to create some. There is different format of drop down look like. Divider is there. Okay, we have header is there. So different for types of drop down is being given. Button group. So button group is nothing but some of the buttons you'll find in a group. If you need this type of implementation, just copy the code and put in your web page, right? So everything is predefined. If you see here, all the components are predefined component. Just you have to know that which component you are going to use where and how. Button, if you see here, this type of button, if you want to implement in your application, you have to use this code, right? Next, right, we have nav bars, navigation. For navigation also, we have been given this type of tab implementation, right? So if you want to implement this type of implementation, you can use then for tab, for nav bar, for nav bars, You'll find navbars are responsible meta component that serves as the navigation headers for your application or site. They begin collapsed in mobile views and become horizontal as available viewport width increases. So how these navbars look like? This is the navbars how it look like. Okay, you can use the image, links, drop down is already been given, search as well as drop down is there. So a complete navigation part is given. If I need this, just copy this code and paste it. Similarly for breadcrumb, okay, if I want to implement some breadcrumb, when you're moving from one page to another page, it should show me the complete breadcrumb structure. Pagination means you're moving from one page to another page. Levels, how you are going to show all the levels. Okay, and Jumbotron. Jumbotron is a lightweight, flexible component that can optimally extend the entire viewport to showcase any key on your site, right? Okay, so like this way, all the predefined component is given, and we have to copy paste that component in the website and go with the implementation, right? So this is how we'll do, right? Fine. Now what you have to do is that now the website that you are creating here, okay, the website that you are creating here, here in this website, what you have to do is like that I have to implement some navigation bar. Okay, in this example there is no navigation bar. The hello world that I'm running here, this page, there is no navigation bar. If you see here, there is no navigation bar. It's just coming hello world. So that now what I want to do is that I want to create a navigation bar. Fine. So what I'll do is that just drag and drop the nav bar. From where I'll get the nav bar, go to your Bootstrap site and see a nav bar is there. Under component, you'll find nav bar. Go to nav bar, okay, and just copy this nav bar. Just copy this nav bar. Just copy the complete nav bar. Control C. Copy the complete nav bar. Fine. Copy and paste it after body. Control V. See, their complete things I have pasted. This will come under nav tab. Okay. This will come under nav tab. Fine. File, save all. Right. So when you have saved this, right, and just execute and check how it look like. Just execute. Now if you see how it look like, complete navigation tab has been given to you in build tab. So how long time I have to spend to get this tab? Fraction of second. Just copy and paste. Because the complete thing is given, complete navigation. Now the thing is, no, I don't want this like this. I want to do some customization. I need it based on my own business requirement. Okay, you can do some customization. It's fine, but the complete structure is ready for you. Fine. So I need here some text, okay, so that it should good look and feel for the website. So what we'll do is that just we have one of the component called Jumbotron. Okay, so go to your Bootstrap. You'll find one component called Jumbotron. See here, Jumbotron is there. Go to Jumbotron. What it is saying, it's a lightweight, flexible component that can optimally extend entire viewport to showcase key content on your site. Okay, so what I can do is that copy this. I want a particular Jumbotron like this. What you'll do, just copy this. just copy it, Control C, and paste it after this, Control V. This is under a particular div. I pasted one Jumbotron here. See, I pasted one Jumbotron. Save it, File, Save All. And see how it look like. Again, go to the page and see how it look like. This one copy pasted. This Jumbotron also you have copy pasted. Right? Now we have to create some other layouts. See, again, I have to copy paste here something else. So if you see here, the complete page structure, I got it. Right? Now, now the question is that I have to customize this complete page structure based on the business requirement or based on my site requirement. I want to do this. Right? Okay. Now, another things here, if you see, this is one layout. This is one layout under div. This is another layout under div. Now, what you can do is that both the layout you can put in a single div. So you can create a div here. Create a div plus equal to, you can use like tab bar, some class you have created. So inside this div, I want this complete navigation. Okay, right? Will come under this Control V. So complete navigation I want under this div, right? So you can use like this tab. Fine. And this is the second div. In the second div, I use Jumbotron. So you can use here like tab. What a second div, right? So save it, File, Save All. Right? Okay. Now, if you want to execute this one, just run this. Right? Fine. Now the thing is that this is how a page, you can get it ready-made page within a fraction of a second. Right? Now we have to know how we can customize the navbar or drop downs. Okay, how to create different rows, grid as well as media object. Okay, how to implement list groups as well as glycophins. Okay, how we can create a forms, tooltip, popovers, accordions, right? So all those components, what the main purpose is that we have to understand all the components in details. This is how ready-made component. I want some more ready-made component, copy paste, and we'll get a ready-made website. But that is not the aim. We can get ready-made on a website, and that will be very good look and feel, and with less time is good. But we can work on this only when we'll understand each and every component in details, right? So that is our main focus, how to use Bootstrap different component and how I can customize this existing component based on our requirement. So we have to go into that level, right? So this is the example that we have given just to understand how I can create a ready-made Hello World application and how it look like without using all the elements separately, you know. I can do it like this. Correct? Fine. Okay, now, so next what we'll do is that we have to do some create a good website using Bootstrap. We have to know about these components in details. Okay, so let's move with that. I'll suggest you also just go with this component and try to implement and see how fast you can do it, each and every component, right? So we have to understand each and every component in details, right? So fine. Now, if you see this, this is the navbar and lots of classes are given. See here, lots of classes are there. Okay, and the question is that what is the meaning of each and every class? Then you have to check Bootstrap API documentation to understand each and every class. So from where I'll get Bootstrap API documentation. Now, if you go into that downloaded copy, this is a downloaded copy, right? Dist file. So if you go in the dist, they have not given any API documentation here. Okay, you have to get that API documentation separately. I think just check here, go to this, and here Bootstrap download. Okay, and here you'll find customize. So you can go with this website that will give you good content. But more than that, if I want to know about any particular class, okay, so you can, I'll just show you here. Bootstrap class API doc. So when you go to the API documentation, okay, for each and every class, I have to know the complete details. Okay, that also you can follow. But better when you're going to start initially, better to go with this getbootstrap.com and read each and every component or item that has been given, right? Okay, fine. Now let's come to our website just now we have created. This is the navbar we have drag and drop, and this is the jumbotron that we have copied, right? Fine. Now what I want is that I want to implement some features here, like we have the class jumbotron, okay, and it is written hello world. That's why you can see this hello world is coming, right? So I want to do some modification in this. I don't want the content that is being given here. I want to do some modification to make it colorful. Okay, change some background color. Height also I can try to change. Okay, some border I want to change, right? So all those things we have to implement. How I can do it, right? So just see here. Let's come into this jumbotron first. So what I want to do is that just remove this, whatever it is being given. Okay, delete. And I want to create a particular class inside jumbotron. Okay, and assume this class name as div. Okay, and class I want to create as a container. Okay, and create a container class under this div. Okay, so file, save all. Now the thing is that what I want is that I want a single row that should have everything, no column, only a row is there. So you can create a particular class, div, okay, a class as row. Okay. Now inside this row class, as it in Bootstrap, there is a concept of grid. So as per the Bootstrap grid, in a single row, you can have maximum 12 column. Okay, in a single row, you should have maximum 12 column as per the grid. And that column we defined using a class, that is div class equal to column md plus 12. This is 12, it's a class actually. So this 12 class support is there in Bootstrap. What does it mean by this? It will take 12 column. Now that you can define it as a 444 or 84, how you're going to define. So in this example, that row contain total 12 columns. So I've used complete row itself. That's why I've used here 12 column. Complete row I want to use. Fine. So inside this, I want to define some content. And to define a content, I can use another one class called Jumbotron content. Okay. So you can write here div class equal to Jumbotron content. Okay. I can define a class like this. So what I want inside this content, I want some H1 heading like clean and clear. Okay. Some talking about some topic. And to related to that, I want to show some text. So text I want to do inside a paragraph. Which text I want to show? So I can copy paste some text from somewhere else. Assume the other text. Control C and Control V. Okay. Fine. Inside this. Right. Now save it. File, save all. Fine. So we have created this. So we have just modified this Jumbotron using our requirement like this. Correct. Let me check how it look like. See here how it look like. The existing, I've copied that Jumbotron and I have modified based on my requirement. But this requirement is not enough. This requirement is not enough. We have to do lots of other features like background color, okay, height, padding, right? So what I can do it? So that you can do it in a separate CSS file, right? So for this page, you can define a separate CSS file. Okay, so assume the CSS file name is index12.css because it's a page name, right? So create a CSS file, file new, and file save as. Check this file name in the desktop, the same folder. I want to get the CSS and use this CSS file name as index12.css because it's connected with this page. That's why I'm like this. Save it. Okay, fine. Now this is my page. Now the thing is that this Jumbotron I'm talking about now. Okay. Now I want to implement some features on this. Okay. So the features that I want to implement were inside this class. So it is already predefined class. Okay, it's predefined class in Bootstrap. Now what I want is that I want to apply my own features in this class. So that will override whatever you're going to provide, right? Like just Control C. Okay, like the features I want to implement. So just copy this class. Okay, and paste it here inside your CSS file. Fine. Control V. So what type of it is? It's a class. So class, how I can access? Using dot. Now I have to provide my own features for this. So add it. Which are the features I want to implement? Let's see. Let's say what I want. Like I want different background color for this Jumbotron. So I have to use background color. Okay, background color. Which color I want? We have one. Select it from the list. Let me check. You can use this color. It's a good one. Just select this color. Now it is not mandatory that you have to use color code always. But if you know some color code, it's good. For color code for white, green, blue. Okay, it will be very helpful, and that will come with practice. Fine. I want to use this background color, and the height for this Jumbotron, I can use. Take it somewhere 350 pixel. Okay, and no padding, nothing. Let's see how it look like. Save it, file, save all, and just see here where it is not coming. Why? Because this file I have not imported. So you have to import in the page. Yes. So what I have to do here is like you have to use, copy this, Control C, Control V, and you have to use this equal to CSS slash index12.css. This is our file. Save it. File, save all, and check it should come. Yes. So the Jumbotron, I have given my own style, height, right, as well as the background color. Fine. Though we have not implemented padding, so let's apply some padding, right? Let's apply some padding in this. Like I want to do some padding in the top for do some 10, 13 to 20 pixel, some bottom, some padding I want to implement. Okay, and okay, so let's border also. I want to use some style, right? So let's do some more changes here. Let's do some more changes in this. Let's do some more changes here. Like what I want, like I want to do some padding in the top. Okay, in the top here, in between. So then I have to use the property padding. Take it padding top I want to give, right? Not only padding, I want to use top. So padding top. Padding top I want to use as 15 pixel. Okay, and then in the padding bottom I want to use another one 15 pixel. Fine. Okay, and the border, use some style for border. Border I want to use, take it 1 or 2 pixel, 1 pixel. You can see the border looking good. And so that border you can provide some color also. Okay. Let's see how it look like. File, save all. And you can see the changes that you have done. You can see 1 pixel border is visible, and some padding we have used. If you want to use some more padding, let's see here, make it padding top. See how it look like. File, save all, and see the padding. It's not changing, is it? Save it. Okay, coming right now. This border color also you can change. Okay, background. Okay, so you can define it, right? So fine. Now here, this is the content, correct? This is coming under H2 or H1 we have used, and this is coming under the content. If you see here, just see this. See this. This is coming under H1, and this complete text under paragraph, but it is actually under the class called Jumbotron content. So I want to change some this text also. Okay, so what I want is that the content should have some different color I want to implement. So if I have to implement the features characteristics for Jumbotron content, so it is a class I should access with dot. So copy this, Control C, okay, and go to the your CSS file and just create another one class, Control V. It should start with dot because it's a class. Okay, now features I want to implement, what I want is that the content color should be white. Okay, so color should be white. So white is either you can use from here, or you should always remember some of the code very famous in a name or number like has FFF. It's a symbol of white. Here how it look like. See here, the content color came in white, right? Okay, now this is the part of header. Okay, and I want to use some space between them, right? So like padding I can implement, bottom padding. Okay, so I can use here like where it is, let me check. This is H1, so this H1 is under whom? Jumbotron class. So dot Jumbotron dot H1 we can do, right? So you can write here dot Jumbotron dot H1, Control C, Control V dot Jumbotron dot H1. What I want here features like I want to use its proper font size. Take some font size based on my own requirement. I want to use the font size with 34 pixel. Okay. I want a padding in the bottom. So padding bottom something is there. Padding button you can take of something like 20 pixel. Okay. Fine. Let me check how it look like. File, save all. See here we have used some padding of 20 pixel in between, right? Right. Okay. If I want to check some other colors, that also you can implement, right? So let we can, based on our requirement, we can provide all the features here, and based on that it gets modified. Fine. Now that I'm talking about how to modify the zoom button area in your page. Okay. Similarly, if you see this part, this is actually your nav bar, navigation bar. And what we have done, this navigation bar, we have completely copy and pasted the navigation bar. And we got this. This is the complete navigation bar. Right now, we have to work some step in this navigation bar. Okay. Now, if you see, this complete navigation bar comes under one class. Just see here, it is coming under one class. See, the class name is navbar. This is the class name. Okay, fine. Now, okay. Now here it is using class called nav default. If you remember it, see how it look like. Control X. Remember. Okay. Save it. File, save all. See how it look like. Not that much of change. Yes, there is some change. See here. It is giving, but it's not giving that earlier status because it contains some features. Control V, nav default. When using nav default class, it is coming like this. Some shaded features is there, right? Fine. What I want is that I want to create some margin below this nav bar region and create some margin. Okay. So what I can implement for this, so this is my nav bar region. Okay, so copy this, Control C, come to CSS and implement some features based on my own requirement. It is what? It's one type of class. So it's .navbar, and you have to provide your own feature. I want to give some margin. Fine. So margin and the bottom with 1 pixel. Okay. And let me check how it look like. Save all. I have given one margin. Just see here. One margin came. Okay. Right. Fine. And what I want is like this nav bar that we have created. So this, if you see, there is a static type. It should give some hover features, right? See, it is looking like a static type, right? So always when you create some component, it should have some hover features. Then only it get very good look and feel. So implement some hover features in this links. I want to implement some hover feature. So where I want to implement hover on these links. See here, drop down on this. These are the links, right? Brand. This is the links, and implement some drop down. This is drop down. This is active link, right? List. So I want to implement some hover on the list item, whatever the list item you find, and implement some hover on the list item. So what I can do it here, I can select navbar, list item, and hover, right? And it should come with some different color. So let's select it, come here, and say apply some navbar dot navbar. Okay. For list item, I want to implement hover, right? So list item means li, okay, colon hover. What style I want to implement? Background, like has E7. So this is one code. You can see it's good look E7. So it will create a good look and feel. Generally we use it for hover. Just see here, save all and see how it look like. Just move. See here, it was not there earlier. So for list item, we have implemented this hover. Right? Fine. Right? Okay. Now, okay. So, so this is how you can check. Now you can check. Now you can change the name here. Assume you can create the name here, about us. You can add some image here. Okay. You can add contact us. Okay, career. The moments based on your requirement, you can provide, or you can do some customization. Correct. Similarly, if you see, this is the Jumbotron, right? And this Jumbotron is looking like this. This is the div class, and this is my Jumbotron. Right now, what I want is that I want to create another one container region. Okay, that will have 3 different boxes, and 3 boxes will say define 3 different articles, something like that. Okay, this is my requirement. Again, I'm saying this is my page. Okay, and here I want to create 3 different boxes here, and 3 different boxes would have 3 different articles. Okay, so this way I want to implement. Correct. So what I can do here, so all these 3 boxes should be available inside the container. Okay, so we can create another one container that should have a single row. Okay, so you can create one container, another one div class. Fine, write div. Okay, class you can define as container. Okay. So I'm going to create another one container, and that container should have a single row, but that row contains 3 columns. Okay, so tab you can use to define div class equal to row. Right, and that should have 3 rows. 3 rows means 3 columns. So as you know that in Bootstrap we can create total 12 column as per the grid system of Bootstrap, 12 column in a single row. So if I need 3 boxes, so divide this 12 column in 3 boxes. How it will come? First one, it will come. First one will come 4 column, right? Second one, it will come 4 column, and third one will come 4 column. So like this way we can divide into 12 column, right? So how I can do it this? So we can have a separate predefined class for that. Okay, we can use that class to divide it into 12 column format. Okay, so we have one class that is called you can write one class div class equal to column md4. Okay, this is one class. So like this way you can define, talk about control C, control V, Control V. So we have done total 4 column. If you see a 12 column, so I have total how many boxes? 3 boxes. Each of them are with 4 column. Right. See here how it look like. File, save all. We have not implemented. We have not implemented that, so it's not visible. So let's implement it. First column. Okay. So first column, you can define some div class equal to, give some name, blue box, assume blue box. Okay. Second container, second box I can implement as a green box, red box, and define here like red box. And the third one we can implement like use some name, just use a define name, right? Green box, correct? So in this container I have total 3 boxes, right? So each and every boxes I want to talk about some point, like in the first box I want to talk about as in h1 like learn second box control C control V, I want to talk about implement, and the third box is I want to talk about grow. So some headlines. So for this headlines I want to define some text. Fine. So the text I want to implement using this paragraph. Which text let's copy from somewhere. Let's copy from somewhere some text. Some text, right? That is not related to this topic. Control V. Some paragraph. Control V. Pick some paragraph. Fine. So file, save all. Let's see how it look like. Just see this, how it look like. We have created 3 different boxes, right? And these are some of the text. And right. So we have created 3 boxes. So how we have created? We have created using a separate container, right? Okay, just give me 1 minute. Okay, guys. So what you're talking about is that we can create this type of boxes, right? And how I have implemented this, we have implemented using deep classes like this, right? So this is one of the deep row class. Under this row class, we have created 3 different columns. This is first column, this is the second column, and this is the third one. So 3 boxes we have created. So what I want is that for each box, I want to implement one class, read mode, something like that. Okay, so that also you can define here. That you can create as an anchor. Okay, anchor. You can define one class equal to read mode, something like that. Read mode. H ref. Okay, equal to just event something. Okay, and read mode. So we can talk about this like this. File save all. Okay, fine. So same thing you can implement in other class also, other boxes also, like this and like this. Fine. See how it look like. They created a read more for all, right? So the main point is that if you see how we can go with Bootstrap, the difference is that same type of implementation we have done last time also using HTML5 and CSS3. What difference you will find is that in case of Bootstrap implementation, you have to use some predefined component that you get so that I can or I'll get a standard, because in case of Bootstrap implementation, you'll get the standard classes for each component. And if I want to customize, the thing is same. You have to create your CSS file, and in that CSS file, based on your requirement, you are implementing the content so that the content will come from the CSS file, and we can cross check on the same.